Army jawans have been killed in a firing inside a Bathinda military cantonment at 4:35 a.m. in the morning. The army has put out a statement and we are reiterating 4 army jawans of an artillery unit succumbed to gunshot injuries sustained during this incident. The area continues to be sealed off and investigations with the Punjab police are being coordinated to establish the facts of this case. All aspects, including the possible case of involvement of an incest rifle along with 28 rounds reported missing 2 days ago, is being ascertained. This report filed by my colleague Kunal Bansal from right outside the Bathinda Military Station. Listen in.
बठिंडा के मिलिट्री स्टेशन के बाहर इस वक्त मौजूद है। तस्वीरें आपको दिखा दें। मिलिट्री के जवान तैनात है। आने जाने की परमिशन किसी को नहीं दी जा रही आगे। तो इसकी खबर जो सामने निकल के आई है, अभी 4 जवानों की मौत हुई है। फायरिंग हुई है मिलिट्री स्टेशन के अंदर। 4 जवानों की मौत की खबर सुबह 4:30 बजे के बाद से ही निकलनी शुरू हो गई है। बठिंडा रेंज के एडीजीपी एसपीएस परमार की ओर से जिस तरह आज तक को जानकारी दी गई है, 4:30 बजे सुबह जो फायरिंग हुई, 4 जवानों की मौत की खबर उसके सामने निकल के आई है। लेकिन पुलिस की ओर से मीडिया के कैमरों के आगे आकर अभी पूरी डिटेल में जानकारी नहीं दी जा रही। अभी तक सिर्फ इतना ही पता चल पाया है कि 4 जवानों की मौत हुई है। क्या पूरा मामला था, क्यों फायरिंग हुई, आखिरकार मिलिट्री स्टेशन में ऐसा क्या हुआ, भी फायरिंग के बाद 4 जवान मृतक हो गए। कुणाल बांसल, आज तक, बठिंडा।
Abhishek continues to be with us. Also, Kamal is getting us more details on that story. Kamal is in Chandigarh, tracking the very latest. Kamal, in fact, if you could give us an idea also about the sequence of events after the firing took place at 4:35 a.m. this morning. What really happened there? Obvious sense of panic given that there are families living in this area.
So what we know from the statement given by the Southwestern Command as far as the incident is concerned is that it has happened at 4:35 a.m. at Bathinda Military Station. What our sources indicate is that this has happened near the Geo Mess. This is way early in the morning, and perhaps that is where we've been told that the 4 jawans were in confrontation. We do not know what really transpired there as to why gunshots were actually fired, but the gunman seems to be missing, and that is why a lockdown sort of a situation has taken place in the military station. We've been told the gates have been closed. The families, because this is a family station, the families have been told to stay inside, especially the children. There is a quick reaction team which has been formed, and obviously the situation remains fluid. As to why things have transpired, we've been trying to speak to senior officials. They say, one, they're not really aware of the motive, and second, they're still trying to find out and ascertain if this is something to do with the incest rifle which had gone missing 2 days ago, which had 28 cartridges. Whether this was very well planned is something which is to be seen, but meanwhile, the main job is to actually find the gunman who seems to be still at large. What is the motive is obviously the second. But in all likelihood, what we've been told is that this is not a terror attack, that this is likely to be a fratricidal incident, something which we have seen in the army and even in the Central Armed Police Force or the paramilitary, which has taken place in several locations. But this is extremely worrisome. One is because they are not sure about who the gunman really is, and since number of hours have passed, and almost 7 hours now, that the hunt is still very much on, and there seems to be hardly any clue as to who could have been behind this, what really transpired. All this will be a matter of investigation, but meanwhile, what the army has said is that there is a joint investigation by Punjab Police, who still continues to be outside and at the periphery, but meanwhile, senior officers coming on record and saying that this is not a terror attack.
And we have a confirmation. In fact, this is what is being said by the police and the army, who have launched a joint investigation. But fratricide killings in the army, within the forces, Abhishek, continues to be a huge concern. This one involving 4 jawans who have been killed. What is it that the Home Ministry and the army and the armed forces, the Defence Ministry, is now planning to do, given that there have been concerns and an internal report raised in the past as well about various reasons for such killings?
Well, Sneha, first and foremost, the Army Chief has briefed the Defence Minister about the incident, giving out details of what transpired. Obviously, there will be a thorough internal inquiry into the incident, but the fact remains that the area is still under threat. You know, there is still an search operation continuing within the military station. So that means that whatever threat was there has still not been neutralized. And that's the reason why the entire military station is a no-go zone. Even the local police is not being allowed inside. What could be the reasons behind this kind of a killing is something that needs to be looked into. Obviously, that will be part of the investigation, but there are a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of missing links as to what led to these killings. What the army has put out officially is that 4 army jawans have been killed in this incident, that an Insats rifle had gone missing a few days ago along with 28 rounds of ammunition. Clearly suggests that some kind of planning took place by the person who's carried out these killings. Now, whether this was just a lone wolf or whether there were some more people involved with him is not clear. Whether this was a serving personnel of the Indian Army who's carried out these killings has not been put on record. There could be a possibility of a civilian working within the army establishment who could be behind this as well, something that the army needs to clarify upon. And the fact that whether this person or persons had any linkages with people outside, that needs to be investigated as well. So once these aspects are looked into, we will have a clear picture on what exactly could the motive be, whether it was something personal, a personal grouse that a soldier or a civilian working with the army had, or whether there was some kind of an external indoctrination that triggered them to carry out these 4 killings.